All right, Rob. One of the callers yesterday said it was NBA Finals Eve. He was ahead of schedule, but finally we are on the eve of the NBA Finals between the Dallas Mavericks and the Boston Celtics that begins tomorrow night in Boston. And, of course, a lot of chatter today as players are meeting with the media. And Jason Kidd, the head coach of the Dallas Mavericks, had a lot to say. Here's one of the things regarding Luka and Dirk.
You've talked about Luka in the highest of company. Dirk, Luka, if Luka wins a ring this year, does he have a shot at the claim greatest Maverick ever?
Yes.
Wow. There's no hesitancy, which I guess there shouldn't be because he's already said he thinks Luka is better than Dirk. Where you at on this, Rob?
I just wouldn't address that or even be there, Chris. First of all, Dirk took that team to the championship twice. If it wasn't for a million free throws to the finals, you know what I mean, in the finals twice.
He won one championship, right?
Right. If it wasn't for a million free throws that Dwayne Wade got, they might have won 2 championships because they were up 2-0 in that and never won another game. But anyway, the other thing is the championship that he won. My God, do you remember, Chris, the gauntlet that he had to go through? Right? Didn't he go through Shaq and Kobe? Who else did he go through? The young OKC team and then the Heatles? Is that what he went through?
I'm not sure. Well, the Heatles, of course, in the finals.
Kobe and Powell, and Powell Gasol.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It was
Kobe and Powell.
So it would have been Kobe
and then
Powell.
the young OKC Chris team, and then LeBron James and the Heatles.
Portland was first. Yeah.
All I'm saying is, I don't know if I would have addressed that or even talked about that prior. It was really dismissive, as if Dirk didn't do anything. I would just be like, wow. Dirk put a stamp on his franchise. His name is on the court, and there's a statue outside, all that other stuff, which is great. I'll get to that when we win a championship or if we win a championship. But to sit here today and do a hypothetical about somebody who actually won a championship for this franchise would be hard for me to answer today. And that's no disrespect to Luka. I just think it's a lack of respect for Dirk Nowitzki. That's it. And you could love Luka, Chris, if they lose this series or get swept or whatever. It doesn't mean that Luka's not a great player either. But I just think there's a time and place for all that. And I thought it was disrespectful to Dirk and what he was able to accomplish. That's all.
Yeah, I disagree. I do agree with you. I mean, I see where you're coming from in terms of, maybe he could wait, until after the finals. Heck, Rob, if they lose this finals, you never know. Somebody might play that as, they were counting their chickens before they had.
Well, that's another one. That. Right.
Yeah, so I get where you're coming from with that. But Luka's just better than Dirk. I mean, they could lose this. They could get swept in this series. Luka's a better player than Dirk Nowitzki was. I don't see how anybody, can watch the two of them play and have any other opinion. I mean, now, if you want to say Dirk is Mr. Mav because he was there for 21 years and got them their first NBA championship, that's all well and good.
Their first or
but
only.
That's fine. But the best Maverick is Dirk Nowitzki. I mean, Luka's the best player to ever play for the Mavs.
So if they never win, if they never win, it doesn't matter. He's the best player no matter what. I still think he's better.
Because I think Barkley was better than Dirk. Okay. And Barkley never won a championship. I mean, it's not, like I said, I tell you all the time, to me, it's not just rings. It's a nuance about this thing. And Dirk Nowitzki, Rob, and again, I don't want this to be viewed as a shot at Dirk. I'm just saying Luka is clearly better.
Well, I just want to know, is there a history with you and Dirk that I don't know about?
Not at all.
Okay.
I did a story on Dirk for ESPN.
I'm asking.
I did a story on Dirk for ESPN the magazine. So I like Dirk. But that doesn't mean just like everybody.
No,
I'm going to
just
keep
asking.
it real. I'm going to give.
I'm
I'm
asking.
just I'm just telling.
Yeah, because like the
just
city of
answering.
Toronto thinks you have something against the city. I'm just asking if there's something that
What does Toronto have to do?
Don't
with
you
this?
remember Toronto? You said
I know,
something
but
about
what do they
Toronto.
have to do with a Dirk Nowitzki?
No,
Luka
but I'm
Doncic
saying
conversation?
like is there some backstory that I don't know? That's all I'm asking. Go ahead. I'm asking.
Anyway, Dirk Nowitzki, and again, I don't want this to be viewed as a shot at Dirk because he is an all-time great player, no question about it. But Luka Doncic, as we've said, Rob, at least I've said, he should be in the best 10 players ever discussion when he's done. And that was never said about Dirk Nowitzki. He just there. Luka is on a different level of elite player. Dirk was primarily a scorer. That was he wasn't a good defender, wasn't much of a rebounder for a 7-footer. His highest ever, never averaged 10 rebounds a game. He was primarily a scorer, and his career high average for a season in his 21-year career was 26 points a game. Luka's career average is 28.7. The thing that Dirk did best, Luka's already topping him in that. And Luka, for 5 of his 6 years, has averaged more than 26 points a game, which was Dirk's career high. He did it once.
Yeah, but there's a difference between the two players, too, isn't it?
Luka has already made 5 first-team All-NBAs. Dirk made 4 in 21 years. Luka's made 5 in 6 years. Luka has a higher career average rebounding than Dirk.
Okay, let me say this.
8 to 7.
Let me say this. Long
and
term,
obviously the passing and the assist.
Yeah, long term, I think that if Luka, no matter how great he is and plays the way he does, and if he doesn't win, that fans in Dallas will have a fondness over Dirk and his career
Agreed.
and his body of work over Luka.
Agreed.
Like you can,
because he won the championship with him.
Yeah, because a championship is what connects fans to players. And it doesn't mean that fans didn't love Charles Barkley and other guy, Patrick Ewing in New York, Chris, but there is something that you can't shake when you've gone to the mountaintop and you've won for them. And the thing that always stands out,
totally.
Okay, the thing that stands out the most to me in that Dirk championship is that he wasn't along for the ride. He was making the big shots. He was the guy. And it was against the vaunted Heatles. And that was a major time when they won a championship when people didn't think that they could beat them. That's all I'm saying.
It was a great championship, and I agree. Like you know this, Rob, in New York, as great as people know Patrick Ewing was, I would argue, at least from what I've experienced, they have probably more of a fondness for Willis Reed. Just remembering, would you agree with that? And he wasn't better than Ewing.
No, but the connection to winning a championship.
2 of them, right.
Joe Namath, Chris, Joe Namath. Go look at his career stats. But he won that.
Yeah, but he
but I'm
still
just saying,
was viewed as an all-time. I mean,
but I'm saying when you
Rocky, but
right. But I'm saying though, but his connection to people is off of that championship.
But that's different than the best Mav ever. I think Mr. Heat is who? Dwayne Wade. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Mr. Heat's Dwayne Wade. Now, obviously, LeBron was better than Dwayne, but Mr. Heat is Dwayne, and I get that. And obviously, LeBron won championships in Miami, but Wade played virtually his entire career there. But the best player the Mavs have ever had is Luka. But I agree with you. If he doesn't win a championship, they will definitely have more love for Dirk than Luka. Rob, if Luka doesn't win at least one championship in his career, it's a severe disappointment. And as I said, he certainly wouldn't be in the top 10 of all time players conversation with no championships. And even one wouldn't get him there. He's got to win probably 3 to get in that conversation. The only one with less than 3 is Wilt, and his numbers are just outlandish. So I I think Jason Kidd was asking honestly, and he probably answered it too, Rob, because he's already said that Luka's the best player to play for the Mavs. And he said Luka's straight out, flat out better than Dirk. And I'm sorry. That championship was great, but this run has been good. Now they got to finish it off. But Rob, you talked about the run that the Dallas Mavericks had to that title. The Mavericks this year are one of the handful teams in history, I think it's 5 or less, who've ever beaten 3 50-win teams in a run to the finals. They beat the number 4 seed Clippers, who had won at least 50. OKC, the number 1 seed in the West, who obviously all of them went over 50. And Minnesota, which was the number 2 seed. And then if they top it off by beating a 64-win team, you talk about a run. Now, obviously, there's not the names of LeBron James and Kobe Bryant and all that. But going, down the line, I mean, Kawhi Leonard was one of those, at least for some of that. SGA is going to be a great player. Obviously, already is.
When did Kawhi
Anthony
play?
Edwards. What was that? Jason Tatum?
Kawhi. I said, when did he?
He played like 2 games in the Clippers, the first round.
Oh, did he?
So
I didn't even think he played.
Yeah, he played a little bit. In fact, they lost. I think they were 0-2 with him. But yeah. So this is a great run. But he's got to finish it off. But better player, Dirk or Luka. I don't even think it's a real discussion.
I think winning counts, and that's why even if as great as he is, Chris, if he doesn't win, you got to acknowledge that there's the way you look at people. I always bring up Marv Levy, 4 Super Bowls in a row as a coach. He doesn't get the respect or the love or people ever mention him as the greatest coach of all time because he didn't win. Winning matters.
Dirk was better than Karl Malone?
Winning matters. No, I'm just saying. I'm talking about if you're looking at 2 players.
I'm not talking about love from the fans.
I'm talking about you're looking at 2 players in a city. That's all I'm saying.
I agree with you on
I have a hard time to believe that
people
are going to look at Luka and say he was the greatest Mav ever. He played here for 15 years and we didn't win anything. I don't believe that that's what fans will think.
But I bet you they think he was the best individual player. I bet they already think that. I don't see how you can watch those 2 and not think that.